Number 11. Caroline Jury. On April the 4th of 2021, 28-year-old Caroline Jury was arrested for snatching the crown from the new Miss Sri Lanka's head. Jury, who'd won the title in 2019 and was also the reigning Miss World at the time, claimed that 31-year-old Pushpika De Silva didn't deserve the title because she was divorced. During the ceremony, which took place at Nelampakunam Mahinda Rajapaksa Theatre in Colombo, Jury yanked the crown from De Silva's head, leaving her with head injuries. She was charged with assault and arrested, but was seen leaving a police station on April the 8th after being released on bail. De Silva needed hospital treatment after the incident and was given back the prize as the event organizers announced that she wasn't a divorcee. Because Jury refused to make a public apology, Miss Sri Lanka was determined to take things to court. Following the incident, the woman resigned from her title of Miss World. Number 10. Madison Cox. On May the 23rd of 2016, 17-year-old Madison Cox was arrested and charged for forging doctor's notes to skip class at a high school in South Carolina. A year prior, Cox had won Most Photogenic at the Miss South Carolina Teen International Beauty Pageant. The former beauty queen was allegedly caught counterfeiting slips from a chiropractic practice in Duncan named the Paris Family Chiropractic. According to police statements, Cox had stolen a notepad from the practice and penned the letters to cover her absence from class. However, the dates she'd written on the slips could not be accounted for, as the doctor's office was either closed on those days or Cox hadn't been registered as a visitor. Number 9. Laura Zuniga. On December the 22nd of 2008, 23-year-old Mexican model Laura Zuniga was arrested along with 7 suspected drug traffickers at a military checkpoint in Zapopan outside Guadalajara. They were traveling in 2 trucks filled with guns and ammunition, as well as 16 cell phones and $53,300. One of the men in the group was identified as Angel Orlando Garcia Urquiza, the brother of an alleged drug trafficker, and appeared to have been her boyfriend. Zuniga, a former preschool teacher, was due to represent Mexico in an upcoming international pageant after winning the Miss Sinaloa title in 2009. She told police that she was planning on traveling to Bolivia and Colombia to do some shopping. In a later interview for Radio Formula, Zuniga claimed to have been kidnapped by her boyfriend, Urquiza, and that she had no knowledge of his illegal activities. She was initially sentenced to 40 days in custody, but was released and charges against her were dropped as there was no evidence that tied her to criminal activity. Her story inspired the 2011 film Miss Bala. Number 8. Kendra Gill. On August the 3rd of 2013, 18-year-old Kendra Gill was arrested in Utah for making and throwing potentially fatal bombs from a moving car. She was charged with felony bomb possession along with 3 other friends after driving around a suburban area and throwing plastic bottles filled with tin foil and toilet cleaner. Following the arrest, Gill expressed remorse and stepped down from her position as Miss Riverton. The former beauty queen and her friends had reportedly targeted other friends as a prank and claimed to have meant no harm. Although nobody got hurt, officials stated that the improvised bombs could have caused great injuries or even death. They were initially charged with possession of an explosive device, punishable by 1 to 15 years in prison. However, in September of 2013, the teenagers pleaded guilty to the reduced charges of attempted possession of chemical or incendiary devices and were required to complete 200 hours of community service. Number 7. Kia Hampton. On May the 28th of 2017, 28-year-old Kia Hampton was arrested in Allen County, Ohio, for bringing drugs onto government facility grounds. Hampton, who'd been crowned Miss Kentucky USA in 2010 as the first African-American woman to represent Kentucky in the competition, was caught smuggling 2.82 grams of marijuana into the Allen Correctional Institution in Lima. She was bringing the drugs to Jeremy Kelly, an inmate at the prison. Officers from the Ohio State Highway Patrol caught on to Hampton after listening to recorded phone calls. After gathering sufficient evidence, they warranted a cavity search and later reported that while the woman was interrogated, she reached into her pants leg and pushed out a marijuana-filled balloon to the floor. Although prosecutors pushed for a prison sentence, Hampton received probation following a hearing in March of 2018. Number 6. Laura Mojico Romero. In February 2021, 25-year-old Laura Mojico Romero was detained in Huatusco, a city in the Mexican state of Veracruz, on accusations of being part of a kidnapping gang. Romero was originally from the city of San Juan Bautista Tuxtepec in Oaxaca and had won the Miss Oaxaca Regional Beauty Contest in 2018. The beauty queen faced up to 50 years in prison if proven guilty. She was captured along with 3 other women and 5 men after a sting operation held by personnel specialized in kidnapping. According to the latest update on the case, Romero and the 7 other alleged kidnappers remained in custody for 2 months after the arrest. The investigation is ongoing. Number 5. Nikki Poteet. In August of 2020, 34-year-old American woman Brittany Nicole Poteet was charged with 2 counts of serious assault for allegedly whipping her ex-boyfriend with a metal dog chain. The woman, who'd moved to Australia in 2014, was reported to have left gashes across the 43-year-old's back after flogging him inside their Sydney home. Police charged her with a 2nd count of assault for also breaking the man's nose. Known by her nickname as Nikki, she had performed as a professional wrestler for Kingdom Wrestling Entertainment and was also crowned Miss Virginia USA in 2011. However, soon after, Nikki was forced to give back her crown after posting a picture of herself wearing it with the caption, Miss Alcoholic USA. Her accusations were adjourned to Burwood Local Court in September. Number 4. Olivia Vasquez Rios. On June the 30th of 2013, Puerto Rican woman Olivia Vasquez Rios was arrested in Madrid by the Spanish National Police on accusations of conspiring to murder her estranged husband. The former Miss Puerto Rico Petite winner had been on the run for over 7 years. On September the 23rd of 2005, Rios and Adam Joel and Hang, from whom she was finalizing a divorce, were leaving a nightclub together after paying hitman Alex Pabon $3 million to kill her husband. Rios lured Hang to an agreed-upon spot in Old San Juan, where Pabon stabbed and beat him to death. To hide her involvement, Rios claimed to have also suffered minor injuries during the attack and made it seem like a mugging gone wrong. Initially, authorities mistakenly arrested and jailed an innocent man for the assassination. Rios was not suspected until a subsequent independent FBI investigation found Pabon guilty for the murder in 2008. However, by that time, the former beauty queen had fled to Italy in 2006 and managed to stay in hiding until June of 2013. After being detained by the Spanish police while incarcerated, Rios became pregnant and had a baby. She then married the father in jail in an attempt to have the Spanish court prevent her extradition as being the mother of a Spanish citizen. However, only 1 month after giving birth, in September of 2015, she was extradited to Puerto Rico under FBI custody. Her trial was set to begin on August the 28th of 2017, but it was delayed until August the 21st of the following year. In October of 2018, Rios was found guilty of her indictment and sentenced to life in prison. Number 3. Adayne Mathias. In September of 2012, 20-year-old beauty pageant contestant Adayne Mathias confessed about conspiring to murder Olivia, aged 21, after losing to her during a Brazilian competition. Olivia beat Mathias in the final round of the contest, which took place in Cariacica, southeast Brazil, winning the chance to play a starring role in the music video of a popular local band. Craving recognition as a dancing duo, Mathias and her partner, Julia Mason Baston, plotted to kill Olivia, hoping that eliminating her rival would gain Mathias the pageant prize. The 20-year-old also involved David Correa in the plot, her boyfriend at the time, convincing him to be the one to kill Olivia as a proof of love. On September the 21st of 2012, just hours before the filming of the music video was due to take place, Olivia was shot dead in a hotel garden by Correa. After the killing, he allegedly texted his girlfriend saying, "Now you can have some ham with your breakfast," where ham is believed to be Brazilian slang for dead body. Soon after, Mathias and Baston confessed to planning the killing, and all three involved have been charged with first-degree murder. Today's topic was inspired by Lizzie Melizzy Johnny. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 2. Darlene Gentry. In February of 2007, Darlene Gentry was found guilty of murdering her husband and sentenced to 60 years in prison. Born in Cameron, Texas, she was married to Keith Gentry, whom she'd met at Texas State Technical College. The former homecoming queen and Keith had been married for 6 years, when on the morning of November the 9th of 2005, Darlene called 911 for her husband. She told the operator that they hadn't slept together the night before, and that when she'd gone into his room in the morning, she found him gurgling with pink foam around the mouth. She also stated that all his guns were gone and that their back door was open. When police arrived, they found Keith Gentry had been shot in the head but was still alive. However, there were no signs of forced entry around the house. The man was rushed to the hospital, and while searching the area, police found a stack of weapons just outside the Gentry home. They also found it suspicious that Darlene, a registered nurse, had done nothing to help her husband, so they took her to the station for interrogation. An hour into the woman's interview, Keith was deemed brain dead. After taking Darlene to the hospital to sign papers that would take her husband off life support, officers returned her to the station, where they decided she was the prime murder suspect. Further investigations revealed that Darlene had shot Keith herself with a 9-shot, .22 caliber revolver his father had given him that she later disposed of in a pond. Number 1. Ruth Kamande. In May of 2018, 24-year-old Kenyan Ruth Kamande was sentenced to death for murdering her boyfriend, Fareed Muhammad, 3 years prior. While awaiting trial, Kamande won a beauty pageant in jail and was crowned Miss Langata Prison in Nairobi. After the verdict, she repeatedly tried to appeal the country's Supreme Court decision to sentence her to death, but her efforts proved fruitless. Muhammad's family reportedly requested a sentence to match the crime after Kamande had stabbed him 25 times with a kitchen knife. The Kenyan woman claimed that her boyfriend had tried to infect her with HIV. However, the judge accused her of manipulative behavior and showing no remorse after the brutal attack that had left her boyfriend's dead body drenched in blood. Thanks for watching. Would you accept instantly achieving your ideal physical beauty standard if it meant that you could never see your own reflection? Let us know in the comments section below.